This place is pretty amazing. All right, so your modern brain sees something and then you try to use your imagination and go back in time 1800 years or more. You see the big stuff, but it's the interesting details that are hard to see because you're so amazed at all this stuff. How high up are we above the original foundations and the bases? And off to the left, you can kind of get an idea. This is easily 2 meters down, maybe 3 meters down to the next foundation. So I'm thinking what we're walking on has been built up over time, whether it's the last 60 years or 600 years. But you can see all this, how it's just up. Because again, over time, things get buried and you forget to think about that. And I wonder what's under these mounds. And again, look at those details. See? We see these in many, many places. We've got many videos on the channel that you can go check these out where they're just obscure. There's no rhyme or reason why they're there. You know, it's just because somebody in the last 60 years or so put it there. But I got a feeling this, every turn is more impressive than the last. Give you an idea how big this is. This would take hours and hours and hours. All right, so I'm doing the best I can to give you a feel for this without getting crazy. This is an outer wall right here, and it goes probably way beyond the temple, and maybe it surrounded this and comes around, and then this would be the inner building. And this is huge. Not as big as Didyme, but size-wise, area size-wise, it's big. The columns aren't that big, but it's still very impressive. Very impressive how big it is. And it looks like there's another wall yet. So this is many, many layered walls. And these columns they're sizable. Not near as big as Didyme. About maybe half the size of Didyme. But they're still overly impressive and amazing. So one of my things is always, how did they clean out these wonderful grooves here and make these? I mean, you can see how big this is by my hand. I gotta zoom out. This is big. So this, just by the feel, is perfect. Even after 1,800, 2,000 years, those are some big grooves. How is this so perfect? There's no drill feel. It's, again, maybe erosion, but still, it's just, how did they do this stuff and make it so perfectly even without some sort of milling machine? Or were they just that good at freehanding stuff? All right, we're going to head in through the cut here. You can see some incredible cutting here. So this also is a church at one point, and we would be looking at the main area. Looks similar, but very different. I don't see any of the flooring that you would see in the churches. See, that's just dirt. Doesn't mean it's not here, it's just not uncovered, or maybe it's been moved between prayer and dogs. The altar would have been here. I think we would have seen pillars. Maybe there was some sort of structure here. It's an original pipe. We've seen these all over ancient Turkey. Ooh, this goes down pretty far. How far down does this go? Farther than I can see. Pretty deep. This is the constant design. This door would lead to over that way and would arch around back behind. They don't want us in there. It's probably dangerous is my guess. Or there could be original artwork back in there that is still existing. Let's see if we can see it. Yeah, it looks like we've got collapse. So, there's some walkway. That's the middle of the wall. But it's still probably fairly dangerous in there. They got a wood cover. So obviously the old ceiling collapsed in. I see fungus growing on it. Maybe the baptismal bowl. And with the sun just right, this goes down maybe 3 meters. If we can see it. I can see the bottom. I heard something in there. Probably a lizard. Pretty cool. This was a big place. If the arena held 30,000 people, means 150,000, 200,000 people-ish lived here at one point. Pretty big, pretty big. Well, based on the photographs, I was right. So you would have the pillars and then a structure over the baptismal. I don't see the well in the middle, but again, this is an artist's rendition based on what they found. So you can see the mystery symbol, what I thought was the mystery symbol, the turbine. But it's definitely religious in nature. We've seen these symbols quite a few places. With my oboes, I'm stepping on the possibly original floor. And you can see it's down about 5-6 inches under the mud. They might have more of it. And for some reason, it's just not exposed. Oh, let's check this thing out. We've seen this design. This is interesting. What do you think this was? Be nice. The size of these columns are big. But just imagine the columns being twice that thickness it did them. I'll leave that link here on the screen. You can check that video out. But make sure you come back and watch this one too. There's something cool at the end. I see rectangular structure after the columns. And again, this is all resurrected based on the pieces they found. But it's confusing. Why would they have square other than it was the end of the building? And that would have been duplicated here. There's a lot of stone missing. But Look at the size of these things. Wow. Absolutely amazing what we're seeing here. Just bits and pieces and remnants. Wow. Absolutely incredible remnants. These are all the tops of the columns that have fallen. Here's an interesting piece of work. That is unique. Not seen that. There's just all these remnants hiding in the underbrush here. There's, oh, look at this. That's unique. Definitely unique. Get my shadow out of the way so you can see it better. There's definitely a column that went up on top of that. Wow. Very impressive. There's another little interesting piece. Some sort of square bowl. Remnants here. There's another one of those little column pieces. Again, it could be somebody's homework that they had to do because all the teaching that went on here for carving. And the masters that would come out of here travel around to all the ancient cities and throughout the Mediterranean, probably throughout the world, and spread their skill, which was pretty amazing stuff. In this next section, we can see what would have been the tops of the columns just strewn around. Bunches of them. There's still quite a few missing based on the size, without even measuring, just using my eye. I can tell there's a lot missing. But we can see a lot of similarities. You know, there's that top, what I call the top ribbon. This is the bottom we're looking at, upside down. This would have been supposedly the back of the temple church. And more remnants. We could see the top parts of the column. Oh, look at this bowl. This is always intriguing. That is a big bowl, or what's left of it. We've seen this paired. Not this big though. This is huge. This is over 2 meters across. I'm surprised they haven't reconstructed that. That's usually a big centerpiece. But nonetheless, it's still absolutely amazing. Some more of these. I got a feeling these were everywhere. Just incredible little finds. You just got to poke around, and this is just a small little area. But the size of these columns, this is cracked, the blue-white marble. Looks like that one might have come from there, possibly. Again, you could spend hours just poking through every nook and cranny, which is the best thing to do if you have time. If you're with a tour group, you're going to have an hour 45 here, maybe 2 hours tops, so you're going to have to run. But try to go fast if you're going to go fast. Or, of course, just check out the video. So let's see if we can make our way through here.